Welcome back to the Takeout, coming to you from our studio van because we had a power outage and all that stuff we've already gone over. I want to bring in FDA Commissioner Marty Makary. Marty, thanks so much for joining us. I promise you we're going to have you in the studio in the not-too-distant future. I appreciate the time you always make for our show, so thank you. When we went to break, Marty, we showed our audience some consumer goods, some of which might have artificial dyes. There's a new effort to remove them, some undertaken by the private sector. There's some scrutiny from the administration. Walk my audience through the necessity of that.
Well, look, most of these artificial dyes are petroleum-based products, and they've been studied in clinical trials. Parents, if we listen to parents, have said that they've noticed different behavior in children. And when they eliminate these dyes, they can see behavior improve. So we've got to listen to all of these data points and not take risks with our nation's children. We asked, as an administration, for food companies to remove all the petroleum-based food dyes from the U.S. food supply and to do it quickly. And we've been working individually with these food companies with some great results. Now, they see the demand. They see states starting to do a patchwork of legislation. And they see that Republican, Democrat, and independent moms showed up in high numbers to vote for President Trump over this very issue that Secretary Kennedy has championed. General Mills came out with a pledge to remove all these petroleum-based dyes. Kraft Heinz, one of the largest food makers in the United States. We saw other food makers. We're talking to some of the others out there. Mars, one of the largest candy companies in the world, announced removing titanium dioxide recently, which is another ingredient separate from the dyes that we've been concerned about. So this is a great sort of democratic mission where we are responding to the science and responding to public demand.
Is this an example, Marty, of the consumers getting ahead of the companies and maybe even a little bit ahead of the government?
You know, we saw this with sugar. When parents learned about the harms of high sugar loads in the food, that is added sugar, not the complex carbohydrates bound to fiber in fruits. We're talking about added sugar. You started to see the food manufacturers respond, even marketing as having low sugar or no added sugar. And so that created an ecosystem whereby we can educate people and also allow the food industry to respond to that. The bigger question is, what about taxpayer dollars that go to food? And so you've seen the first wave of SNAP waivers, whereby states now are saying, we don't want to pay with tax dollars for these sugary drinks and other foods that we consider to be junk food.
Marty, I want to ask you about infant formula because the FDA, as I understand it, is reviewing it for the first time in decades. And the concern is about seed oil. But some experts are concerned that this review might signal to mothers and fathers that there is something inherently risky about infant formula now. Do you want them to reach that conclusion?
Well, it's much larger than the topic of seed oils. And the data on seed oils is in part unknown because we need more research on seed oils. There is some research that shows that when primates are fed, baby primates and pregnant primates are fed one type of seed oil versus another, it actually can affect the visual acuity of the young primates. That's a study that's been published. We don't want to demonize any one ingredient, but we had an expert panel here at the FDA 3 weeks ago, and they talked about the heavy metals in infant formula. And moms want infant formula brands without the high levels of heavy metals. They want infant formula without added sugar. They want infant formula without seed oils. So we want to see innovation in this space. Part of the reason you have not seen any change in infant formula in nearly 30 years is that it's a regulatory failure. The FDA has basically issued a recipe and said, if you want to be approved in a sort of expeditious way, you have to use this recipe of ingredients. And that recipe has had no changes in about 30 years, except for just the addition of selenium. Well, the field of nutrition has matured a lot over those 30 years.
So, Marty, for a parent who might be listening to us now or in the future on social media, you talked about that recipe hasn't been changed in decades. Are you saying that that recipe is unsafe?
I'm saying that it could be improved, that the field of nutrition science has come a long way since that recipe was put into place, and we can do better. A mom should know that breast milk is the best form of nutrition for newborns. That's been well established and a part of the CDC Healthy Kids 2020, Healthy People 2030 goals for years to increase breastfeeding rates in the United States. But many women cannot breastfeed for a number of reasons, either personal or physiologic. And so for those children, we need to ensure that there are safe and healthy options with baby formula. I want people to get educated, and I want to see the nutrition science that has matured get incorporated into better regulatory flexibility, because we also want to see new products come to market, Major. You know, we don't want to see a supply chain breakdown where there's a shortage and babies literally die.
Marty Makary, there's so much to talk about in this space. Thank you for your time. Come into the Takeout studio. We'll have a broader conversation, I promise you.